Everyone, welcome to the lecture number 3 of unit number 3 vector spaces and inner product spaces. So far in previous two lecture we have covered the definition of a vector space and the example based on vector space definition we have discussed. Now in this lecture we'll start the another definition in vector space, that is subspace of a vector space. Okay, so it is like set and subset. So here is the definition: subspace of a vector space. So any subset W of a vector space V is called subspace of V if W is a vector space over R under addition and multiplication. So for any non-empty subset W, okay, so this W we have considered as a subset of set V, which is already a vector space. Then when it can be called as a subspace of that vector space V, when W is itself a vector space, when W is itself a vector space over the field of scalars, that is R, under addition and multiplication. So whatever the operation over the vectors space V we are having, addition and multiplication, under similar operation this W also has to be a vector space. Then it can be called as a subspace of that vector space V. Now for checking whether it forms a vector space or not, only two conditions we need to check. So first one is condition number 1: for any UV belongs to W, then the addition of two vectors U and V also belongs to W. This U plus V is also belongs to W. It means W has to be closed under addition. The first thing is W has to be closed under addition. W is closed under addition. First operation, addition. W is closed under addition. It means for any two U and V belongs to W, U plus V also belongs to W. Then the next operation is scalar multiplication. For any U belongs to W and for any alpha belongs to field of scalars, the multiplication alpha into U belongs to W. Okay, so the members of W, U and V, and this are U must satisfy these two conditions. Then we can say that W is a vector space. Moreover, W is a subspace of a vector space V. Now these two conditions together can be combined as this condition: for alpha beta belongs to R, for any U V belongs to W, if alpha U plus beta V belongs to W, then you can call that W is a subspace of vector space V. So instead of checking vector space, checking of subspace is more easier, because only two conditions we verify, or that two conditions also can be combined by if you combine these two conditions, okay, then we'll get a single condition. So either you check using these two conditions or using this condition whether W is a subspace or not. Now W also will be given in the form of a set. So consider any two elements of that set and verify these two conditions or this condition. From that you can claim that W is a subspace or not. Now few theorems related to subspace. So first theorem: if V is a vector space and W is a subset of V which is non-empty, this is important, W has to be non-empty and closed under addition and scalar multiplication. The meaning of closed under addition and scalar multiplication is these two conditions. Then W is a subspace of V. This definition we have written in the form of a theorem. Okay, this is also one of the theorem. W has to be non-empty subset. Okay, this W is not equal to empty set phi. Okay, non-empty set. Then another theorem related to subspace is: let W be subset of a vector space V and W is subspace of V if V is closed under addition, and scalar multiplication, let W be W is a subset of a vector space V, then W is a subspace of V if W is closed under linear combination, that is C1 V1 plus C2 V2 plus dot 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 Cn Vn belong to W. It is closed under linear combination means this addition C1 V1 plus C2 V2 dot 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 plus Cn Vn, you can call it as linear combination also. Okay, linear combination of n vectors. So here we have taken two vectors only, therefore linear combination of two vectors. Such a linear combination of vectors whenever belongs to the set W, then the W forms a subspace. This is the meaning of the second theorem. Okay, now let us see some examples on subspace of a vector space. We'll solve some examples, then things will be more clear to you. This is definition, try to understand this. Now first one, prove that W is a subspace of V for W equal to x plus y, x plus y. It is a 3 by 1 matrix, or you can say column vector, and where x and y are belongs to R, they are real numbers. We need to check whether this W forms a subspace of that V or not. Okay, the first condition, clearly 0 has 0 0 0 belongs to W. We know that 0 is a real number, so if you put 0, see 0 0 0, this element satisfies this condition. Okay, means 0, first element is 0, second element is 0, and third element is the addition of first two, that is 0 plus 0 0. It means clearly 0 belongs to W. So from this we come to know that W is a non-empty set. Now we have taken two random elements of the set W. Okay, let U comma V belongs to W. As U and V are the members of W, they will be of this type x1 y1, and first element x1, second element y1, and third element is addition of first two, like that x2 y2, x2 plus y2. So these two random elements of W we have considered. Now we need to show that the set is closed under addition and scalar multiplication. So form the addition of 2. So if you see the addition of 2, x1 will get x1 plus x2, y1 plus y2, and the last will be x1 plus y1, x2 plus y2. Now clearly the third element is the addition of this element and this element, hence it will belong to set W, right, which implies W is closed under addition. It satisfies closure property. Now for scalar multiplication, consider alpha belong to R and multiply it with U. So if you multiply this U by alpha, you will get, so it here has to be x1 y1 x1 plus y1. Okay, so alpha into U equal to alpha x1 alpha y1 alpha times x1 plus y1. So addition of first and second element is third element, hence it belongs to W. So the set is closed under addition as well as scalar multiplication, hence scalar multiplication, hence W is a, we can claim from this, W is a subspace of a vector space as it satisfies both the condition of the definition. In that way you can prove that whether the given set is a vector space or not. Now, so this we have proved. Now let us see another example. Example number 3, show that W is not a subspace of V. Here we need to show that it is not a subspace of V. Okay, here we have to show that it is not a subspace of V, where W consists of all matrices with 0 determinant. Okay, so W is the set of all matrices with determinant 0. So we need to prove that W is not a subspace. So consider any two random elements. Whenever we have to show that it is not a subspace, we have to find out, we have to take some particular elements of that set, and we have to show that it doesn't satisfy one of the property, that is addition. It is not closed under addition, or it is not closed under scalar multiplication. If you prove one of the property, then we can claim that W is not a subspace of V. So I have taken two random elements of that set W. It is a set of matrices with 0 determinant. So the simplest matrices I have considered of order 2. Clearly their determinant is 0. You can see that. Now these two belongs to set W, set of matrices W, and as we are having condition on the determinant, so there has to be square matrices. Okay, so clearly we have taken two elements of the set W whose determinant is equal to 0. Now if you add them, you can see that their addition is identity matrix, and we know the determinant of the identity matrix is equal to 1, which is not equal to 0, and as determinant is not equal to 0, this a plus b will not belong to w. It doesn't belong to w, means this set w is not closed under addition, hence w is not a subspace of a vector space V, that you can claim. Now the next example is show that w is a, this set is a subspace of V, okay, and here 3 by 1 matrices. This is like first example, and the condition on these elements is x minus 2y plus z equal to 0. So clearly 0 will belong to that w, because it satisfies this condition, 0 minus 0 plus 0 equal to 0. So the w 0 0 belongs to w, means w is a non-empty set. So for proving that it is non-empty, you need to check whether 0 belongs to that particular entry. That's it. Now I have written this xyz as 2y minus z. So from this you can calculate the value of, from the given equation, this condition, you can calculate the value of x as 2y minus z. Yz I have taken as it is. Now here we have obtained, after taking y and z common, we can write this as a linear combination of two vectors, that is vector 2 1 0 and vector minus 1 0 0, and as vector which are vectors of w, right, and are in linear combination, hence w is a subspace of V, okay. Or if you are not understanding this, using our regular way also you can prove that. Show that, consider any two elements, show that their addition also belongs to w, and their scalar multiplication also belongs to w. In that way also you can prove. Here we have taken the help of that theorem number 2. We have proved here that it is a linear combination of vector. So any vector w can be written as linear combination of vectors, and hence it forms a vector space. Fine. Now another example, show that w is a subspace of V, where w consists of all matrices with a given matrix T, that is, and w equals to A belongs to V, AT equal to TA, okay. So solution I have written, you can see that here we have considered two scalars alpha beta and two matrices, and we have considered this quantity alpha times A plus beta times B, and we are going to prove that this belongs to W, okay. So the second condition of the definition we are using, okay. So by using that also you can prove that given set forms a subspace. So after operating this bracket on this T matrix, this is the multiplication of matrices, okay, and it is given that it commutes with the given matrix T. Commute with the given matrix T means when we take any two members of A, AT will be equal to TA, means it commutes with, follows commutative law of multiplication with matrix T only. So if you consider another element, it will give us BT equal to TB. So any member of W will satisfy this commutative law with the T matrix. So that we have considered, and we need to show that for alpha times A plus beta times B also this result holds. So for that purpose, after considering this alpha times A plus beta times B into T, we need to show that it is equal to T times reverse, that is alpha times A plus beta times B, and using this given condition we can prove it. So hence it will form a subspace. Now another example, verify whether this set W, here the members of W are the functions, right, f of functions such that the value of the function at f of 3 at at 3 x equal to 3 point, it is 1 plus f at minus 5. We need to show that, verify whether it is a subspace or not. So consider any two functions of that set. Here the elements of this sets are functions. So if you consider 2 f and g, it will satisfy these conditions, right, because they are the member of W. Now for any two scalars alpha and beta, consider this combination alpha f plus beta g. So after operating this on 3, we'll get this is equal to alpha times f of 3 plus beta times g of 3. But as they are member of W, their values will be equal to these two, right? That value I have replaced here. So after multiplying by alpha inside, we'll get this quantity. Okay. Now let us see the next step. Up to this we have obtained. Now if we take alpha common from first and third term and beta common from the second and fourth term, we'll get this. Means we'll not get this is equal to 1 plus alpha f times beta g or at minus 5. Okay, because we have obtained there this is not equal to 1. For this to be member of W, it must be equal to 1 plus alpha f plus beta g at minus 5, but we have obtained some different quantity there, right? So hence it will not form a subspace. That is the conclusion. Now another example of this type, let V be a vector space of all functions from R to R. So space of all functions from R to R, and VE be the set of even functions, then show that V forms a subspace of V. Okay, set of even functions. So one must know the definition of a even function. Let fg belongs to this set, and as they are even, so f at minus x equal to f of x and g at minus x equal to g of x. This is the condition for evenness of a function. Now for any two scalars alpha beta belongs to R, consider this. Determine its value at minus x, show that its value equal to at x also equal to this value, then only it will be a subspace. So after operating this on minus x, we'll get this. Again these two are equal from the given condition, so it will be equal to alpha fx plus beta gx. So after taking again x common, we'll get this. This will imply alpha f plus beta g also belongs to V. Hence by definition the VE forms a subspace of V. So in this way, there are, in definition we are having two types of conditions. So whatever suitable condition that you can apply there, you apply and try to show that the given set is subspace or not. Okay, so these are the small problems. Only in 4-5 lines we can derive whether the given set forms a subspace or not. Some examples for practice I am going to give. Try to complete them at home. If you need any help, you can ask me. So this is some number of examples. Try to do this at your own and verify whether in the first question you need to verify whether these 5 forms a subspace or not. 1 2 3 4 5. Try to show that they forms a subspace. Apply the definition of a subspace there. And like even function case, here the example is of odd function. Here we have matrices with the condition a plus b plus c equal to 0. Okay, so different problems are there, different conditions are there. Try to apply the definition and try to show that they forms a vector space, subspace or not. Okay, in the example of show that it is subspace, they will be equal to subspace. These are the examples of show that it means they forms a subspace. And in the examples of verification, that is the first problem, here you need to verify, right? In the first problem you need to verify whether W forms a subspace or not. In that examples you may get some sets as subspace of V and some set may not be subspace of V. So that's it from this lecture. Hope you have understood this discussion of subspace. If you need any help, you can write in comment box. Thank you.